here on Breakdown. 2 massive six-pack challenges and 3, count it, 3 title bouts as well. It's going to be one heck of a show, and I can't wait to get into the action, so why don't we get into our opening six-pack challenge? We kick off tonight's episode of Breakdown with a six-pack challenge.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, representing Imperium from Vienna, Austria, weighing in at 250 pounds, Gunther!
The Ring General, Gunther, here tonight in this six-pack challenge, and the return of Mike Rome to the announcing desk, as you know and love his voice, his melodic tones beckoning in our ears. I don't know why I'm describing it like that, but regardless of the fact, Gunther here challenging for a spot at Locked In. And when he is the first guy in the match, you know that this is going to be, well, a stacked lineup of stars vying for a spot in the chamber. As the temperature heats up inside the Breakdown arena, another main event caliber star wants a title around his waist as the Big Red Machine enters the arena.
From the pits of hell, weighing in at 323 pounds, Kane!
The lights radiating off the back of the Big Red Machine. The fiery brimstones that surround this star certainly are ready to be felt here in the Breakdown arena. The only thing I wish, they timed the fire a little better, as Kane readies himself for action. 2 main event stars who have won the world title are joined by a third. This one slightly smaller. The king of the luchadors, greatest lucha ever, Rey Mysterio, draws 3 in this six-pack challenge.
Representing the LWO from San Diego, California, weighing in at 175 pounds, Rey Mysterio!
Mysterio, a legend of the game, Hall of Famer at this stage of his career, still competing as an, I would say, a full-time star. Certainly more than most can accomplish at this age. As the field gets a little bit more dangerous.
And from Black Forest, South Australia, weighing in at 330 pounds, Big Bronson Reed!
Apparently he is big. That's the moniker Mike Rome gave him as he enters the arena with a dinosaur jacket. And he is ready for this bout. Bronson Reed, not really seen competing in IPW. But when he gets rolling, he is a monster that is hard to stop. Well, I did not expect to hear this song here tonight as we welcome a millionaire to the arena. And he's going to be skipping and jiving.
From New York City, weighing in at 290 pounds, John Bradshaw Layfield, JBL.
The money raining down from the skies. The Bradshaw Bucks are in the house. And JBL making his IPW debut here. A Hall of Famer competing for a spot at the pay-per-view. We've certainly seen a vast number of stars competing in these six-pack challenges. And I'd say so far this men's match is stacked to the brim with talent. Whether it's up and coming or former, this match currently has a bit of everything, which does make it hard to determine who will win it. As we welcome a big strong boy to the arena.
And representing New Catch Republic from Dudley, England, weighing in at 175 pounds, Tyler Bates.
Some argued this guy was the future of the business when he was NXT UK champion, the inaugural UK champion. He has such a vast style of strategy, British strong style at the core of it. But Tyler Bate, one heck of a star competing here tonight in IPW. Arguably the underdog of this match, but give him the opportunity and he will perform in these big match environments. So, let's get it on in the opening bout of Breakdown. Bronson and Bate battling, JBL and Kane on the other side of things. Gunther and Ray also battling it out. We have a vast majority of stars in this that potentially have met before. Gunther and Bate certainly have in NXT UK. Kane and Bradshaw also have. I'd say arguably the least experienced against all these stars is Bronson Reed, of all people. But again, he is the only star I believe in this match who's not really won a title outside of the NXT North American Championship. Anyway, keep your eyes on Rey Mysterio, who will be trying to bring his high-flying offense in moments of this match. Gunther, big powerful offense as well as weapons illegal. No countouts. It is just pinfall or submission, the means to win this one. Nice T-Rex dropkick there from Gunther, taking out Ray. As all six, now five, do battle here towards the rampway. And you look at this match. The caliber of stars obviously in this, as I thought for a second there, Ray was going to get launched into the stairs by Kane. But yeah, as I was saying, the caliber of stars in this match, it's stacked to the brim with former world champs. And you look and think, how does this field get any easier for the last match in the obvious six-pack challenges? As well, Bronson's been busted open by Bate with a baseball bat. That is a nice alliteration, if I do say so myself, as Tyler has Ray up for the airplane spin. Getting a little dizzy on the outside. And why not? Let's turn it around and bring it around town with a clockwise spin. And let's just dump him for the back. Anyway, attention's turned to Kane with the electric chair drop on Gunther, sending him crashing down into the man. Bronson Reed power bomb up and down. It's sitting through with it. You can see the blood spot where the baseball bat busted him open. Oh my word, that DDT careening down on the steel steps as the ass of the referee in perfect line as Bate reverses a fall away slam into a DDT. And now has Bronson Reed hooked up. Pinfall attempt here from Kane. Tries to get a cheeky victory as Ray. Oh my word, Mexican Destroyer. Connecting his Bate into the pin. Easy kick out from Bronson. Stay alive as Bate sends Ray into the ropes. Nice drop kick. JBL tries to pin Kane. Gunther with the knife edge chop, dropping JBL, and I'd say they're two big choppers. Too prolific in that game. Who would have the favor? It certainly feels like Gunther is the better chopper right now. JBL with that big time offense, that explosive offense with the clothesline from hell. Will we see one of them in this match? That's certainly the thought process going through my mind right now. Will we see a clothesline from hell? Connectors. Kane has Bate up for a tombstone pile driver. Sends him down to hell. Ray needs to break the pin up, and he does so to keep this match alive as a springboard maneuver comes through, connecting onto Kane, who's using the ropes to try and sneak victory. Issue is, the pin was broken up as Ray's been busted open and Gunther landing that Tyrannosaurus Rex dropkick again to drop Bronson. Going for the pin as the referee gets hit with a clothesline from hell. That wasn't the star I thought that was going to get hit by it. But she does. Kim, our referee, busted with the clothesline. And Bronson lands his finish on Gunther. Bate can't pick up Bradshaw, who's now power bombing down Tyler. Roll through there from Ray, keeping himself alive against Bronson. JBL rolling out to the outside. Eyes on Bronson Reed, who just scoop and slams down Kane. Gunther back to his feet, but he's hooked up. Samoan drop from Bronson. It's more of an Aussie drop. Ray caught. Bronson grabs a hold of Ray, powers him up, and powers him back down with ease. Pinfall attempt, but Bradshaw's in. Breaks it up. Tries to land a big boot onto Reed, but missing. Irish whip reversed. Bronson lifting up JBL, who sneaks out the back. Instead, turns it into a backdrop suplex. Now, Kane swinging neck breakered. Bradshaw is rolling. Kane quickly back to his feet. Sends Ray back down. And Bradshaw side backbreaker. Dropping the big Rem machine. Now trying to bust him open. Bronson's back into the ring with the sledgehammer. Connects and lands a running senton. The big boy connects. Going for the victory here. JBL yet again breaking up that pin. Has Bronson hooked up. Power bomb position. Turning it into a fireman's carry into the snapping, and there it is. The clothesline from hell drops Kane. And from out of nowhere, Gunther breaks the pin up and lands his own clothesline from hell. Sidewalk slam from Bronson. And now hooks Ray up for beach break. Atomic drop from... And now white noise. Bronson Reed channeling his inner Sheamus for this match as the Tyler Drive in 97. 1, 2. JBL kicking out in the nick of time. Nice takedown from Bate to avoid Bronson's onslaught. And now hooks Gunther up for a Tyler bomb. Just drives him down into the mat. Stacks him and almost secures the victory. Bate and Kane now battling the one of the biggest stars versus the smallest stars. Eyes turn towards JBL, who hooks up Bronson into the powerbomb and just slams him down. Meanwhile, in the ring, it's Ray and Bate versus Kane. The issue is, Ray is just beating up everyone. Nice DDT to drop the big red machine. And then clothesline to drop JBL. And now the two small stars doing battle. As I think Ray is channeling his inner Eddie Guerrero. With these three amigos. Boom, connects and drops Bronson in the process. Painful attempt as Gunther hooking up JBL for a powerbomb. And he gets the victory. And the match had a lot of offense. Explosive from the get-go. Everyone tried to win from the off, and we saw how it panned out. Ray utilizing Eddie Guerrero's three amigos to sneak victory from under the nose of Gunther and Kane, who were too busy focusing on their own little battles. But again, a lot of near falls. That almost certainly was it if it weren't for Gunther. But here's where the turning point happened. Ray gets dropped. Bronson begins to drop everyone else. And then Tyler Bate unleashing his offense. First on JBL. But in the end, it's Mysterio victorious.
Here is your winner, Rey Mysterio.
Advancing to the cage. This is the second to last six-pack challenge in the men's side. And we're going to find out a fifth man in the match with a first title bout of the evening. I've heard the champion has issued an open challenge.
Contest is a last man standing match and is for the undisputed television championship.
I did not realize it was a last man standing match though. But who is the challenger? This song, eerily familiar. The heartbeat grows stronger as someone is about to make their debut in this form. can feel the arena growing in anguish as we welcome the demon to break down. The demon Finn Balor in his mutiny look and feel. We're getting one heck of a last man standing bout here as our second match of the show. Samoan Werewolf versus a demon. This is certainly one open challenge. I can't believe we're actually gonna see Finn, a different monster with the demon's paint across his body. A very difficult star to beat when he is in this look. I could probably tell you his record, as the demon probably only contains 2 losses. One to Roman Reigns, the other probably to Samoa Joe, both as the demon, both with screwy finishes, I believe. So beating Finn as the demon definitely is no easy foot. And it certainly is a hard challenge for the champ to overcome. But overcoming this sets you on a pathway to locked in. You will be in the chamber. Against 5 other stars vying for the title. You've either just won or retained. Who will come out on top? As it's time to welcome the champion into his arena. The fires burn brightly as the belt around his waist sets Fatu on the path to success. The Samoan Werewolf, similarly a different beast in title matches. Very difficult to beat as he slowly makes his way to the ring. Can he overcome his inner demons? That is the real question. Because to be the best, you have to beat the best. We already know the locked in chamber is already stacked with talent. I mean, you look at the field, we've just seen Rey Mysterio qualify. Primetime show got Big E added into the mix. We have Randy Orton and Leslie The Miz. I mean, it's still main event caliber star after main event caliber star all battling for this. Let's toss it to Mike Rome for the official match introductions before we continue the points just made.
Introducing the challenger, the Demon, Finn Balor. And his opponent from Sacramento, California, weighing in at 285 pounds, the undisputed television champion, the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Patu.
Both stars look confident as the belt leaves the hand of the werewolf potentially for the last time. Balor looks ready as the belt lifted up by Gregathy, who draws actions for this title match. And we are ready, and now we're underway. Balor out the gates thick and fast, lands the punch and takes a waistlock. Jacob, though, overpowering the Demon, takes Finn down to the mat and applies a side headlock, cranking on it. Just applying the pressure, squeezing the head between your biceps and the arm. And dropping the knee. Balor now on the receiving end of some punishment. It's the werewolf headbutting Balor. That's not something we typically expect to see, as Jacob's trying to ground Finn before he can start to get rolling, which is arguably smart offense, especially in our last man standing matches. We take the action to the outside. Sent on there from Jacob, who's now beginning to stomp away on Balor. Finally, a count being issued. Sadly, no weapons there for... Actually does countouts. Why is there countouts? Oh well. Balor takes down Jacob. Finally a bit of offense from Balor, but it is immediately cut off by Fatu, who then delivers the dropkick Balor was trying to land. Punch and then a Hurricane Rana from Jacob. Drops the challenger, and let's be honest, this is a style Jacob likes to employ. Bit of ground and pound and just destruction of the opponent, and he might as well destroy himself by headbutting the top turnbuckle. That is certainly a quick count being issued. Balor up at 8. But he's on the receiving end of some punishment as Jacob pop up Samoan drop puts Balor down, calling the Demon back to his feet. But the Demon quickly evades the action, gets an elbow for his troubles. Arms carry from Fatu, who just slingshots Balor over the top rope. And this isn't the supernatural Demon we expected. This has been predominantly all Fatu, who's just might as well bang his head against the top turnbuckle. Balor back up at 8. Drop down. Leap. No, the stomp. Just taking down Fatu. That stomp's really impressive. You think about the elevation you have to get to actually land that, as Balor heading to the apron. Potentially thinking springboard. Misses as Fatu just bats him off. The werewolf up to the Demon so far. Clothesline sends Balor to the outside. Fatu runs the ropes. Suicide dive connecting. Balor nips up. Drop kick to the knee. Puts down the werewolf as he heads back in the ring. 2 sweets up in the air, and that's a mistake as Fatu capitalizing. Balor out the back. Irish whip. arm drag taking down Fatu. Fatu returns the favor with a dragon screw leg whip. It's starting to get back and forthy, but Fatu off the middle and then the top turnbuckle with that crossbody. Puts Balor down. Referee Gregathy issuing the count. Up to 7 before Balor gets back up, but he's immediately met with some knife-edge chops. And then Fatu trying to punish him, but Balor trying to drag Fatu, but either man can drag the other. Fatu with the leaping headbutt and the taunt. As he's starting to roll here. Got a feeling Balor is gonna feel Fatu's wrath with that super kick. Dropped down and met with another. Once he's pulled back up, a third. It's a symphony of super kicks. And Fatu is still rolling with them Samoan drops. Heading up top. A flying Usos in the house, I guess you could say. Balor squashed. Fatu dominant so far in this one. He loves you solo. An 8 count. A 9. And Balor is up in time. But he's caught. Impaler DDT. Fatu is making this his title. Balor's been destroyed. He's somehow up at 7. What does Fatu have to do to win this one? As he's just been destroying the challenger. I think, honestly, Fatu has done more damage to himself headbutting the turnbuckles than what Balor has done in this entire match. Balor's back up at 8. But as soon as he makes a maneuver up to his feet, he's caught. Fatu is not giving him an inch to get into this match. And that is never a good sign if you're the challenger. Beaten to a pulp. Finally, he gets to his feet and connects with an elbow. This is his chance to start his own offense. Into the corner he goes. Waiting for Fatu to get back to his feet. But he's caught again. The taunts are the downfall of the demon. Fatu to the top rope. Balor hit with the strike from the top rope. The champ watching on as Balor back to his feet. Headbutted again. Fatu just continuing to headbutt this turnbuckle. Balor rolling out this time. Buys some space, but he walks immediately into Fatu, who's just going to destroy him. Balor out the back. Irish whip. But caught again for 2. Striking with the super kick. Taking Balor out. Will this be for good, though? Balor up at 8. Can't connect with the strike. Instead, going to be sent into the ropes. Popped up, power bombed. And for 2. He's letting us know his plan. The yeahs are in the house. Staring down the hard cam. Balor's back to his feet. Sling blade. From out of nowhere. He calls for 2 to his feet. Springboard. Drop kick connects this time. Balor taunting himself now. Fatu's back to his feet. The super kick connects again. And now Balor set up. Fatu just needs to connect. Drags Balor into the corner. Scoop and a slam. The champion watching on. As Balor makes it back to his feet. Irish whip reversed by the challenger, who begins to stomp away and just choke the champ in the corner. Balor's got a lot of frustration, you have to feel, considering how this match has gone so far. Demon really needs to dig deep here. You can see the paint wearing off his face. And he's caught in the corner. Manages to fight out the back. Inverted DDT, dropping the elbow as well. Balor needs to learn his moments to taunt. Honestly. As he turns his back to Fatu, connects with a punch, and he's setting him up for a bloody Sunday 1917. Or 16, whatever it is, regardless of the fact he hits it. And now Balor gets to taunt. Letting us know he's hit it. The 2 sweets are up. The champion in trouble. Back up at 8. But Balor hooks him up for an impaler of his own. We knew he had frustration bubbling up inside for how Fatu has just taken it to him. Utilizing his opponent's finisher. Certainly a good setup as a 9 count. Comes through. Fatu. Back to his feet. But Balor. This is where Balor gets to strike. A scoop and a slam of his own. Why are they so prone to taunting? What? Our referee needs to learn to count, I think. 7 issued. An 8. The 2 sweets up in the air. The forearm misses. Balor sending Fatu into the corner. Fatu fighting out of it. Hooking Balor up. Sending him into another corner. Walking the ring, and now Balor hooked, scooped, and is slammed. Fatu. Realistically speaking, needs to go for something. Balor's up at 4. He sees a Fatu taunting in the corner and delivering the knife edge chop. Sets him up for the clothesline and then a back elbow. Dropping the champ. The issue for Balor right now is the coup de grace, in my mind, is out of the question. considering how the AI works in this sort of scenario. But maybe in 1916, or another Impaler DDT. Paradigm shift of sorts. Balor calling Fatu to his feet. Irish whip. Hip arm drag. Imagine the end of this match is just an arm drag. Fatu back up at 7. Fights off Balor's onslaught, hooks him up for an impaler of his own. Balor's head spiked into the mat. Can he make it back to his feet? At this stage, it might be unlikely. We're up to 9 and somehow Balor's up. Sling blade from the challenger. Springboard over the top, missing drastically by Balor. Fatu being counted out. Makes it back to his feet. He's gonna fight out of the grasp of Balor. Irish whip sends the challenger running. He misses with the shoulder block. Manages to grab hold of him. Pop up Samoan drop. Rolling out. And the taunts start to begin. Balor slowly making movement back to his feet, and Fatu's just taunting. Balor hooks him up from behind, backstabber. Fatu grabs a hold of Balor. Balor fights out the grasp. Chopping now at the champ. Takes his back. Puts him on the ropes. Grabs a hold. We have seen so far in this match a lot of grit and determination from both champ and challenger. Finally, we're going to see a weapon brought into the mix. And it's a kendo stick. Just slapped across the back of the champ. The demon, realizing he might need a little bit more than what he's got to put away the werewolf. An 8 count issued, but Fatu's back to his feet. Yet again. Finn, scoop and a slam not going to come through. Instead, it's a DDT reversal from Fatu onto the kendo stick as well. And here come the taunts from Jacob. Unleashing a bit of rage there, it seems. The werewolf tries to grab a hold of Balor, but Balor grabs a hold of him for an impaler DDT of his own. Dropping Fatu. Spiking him on his head with his own maneuver. Balor feeling victorious as a champ fails to make it back to his feet. We have a new king, a new demon atop of the television championship division. And while the early goings were pretty much all Fatu, the match slowed down. The determination from Balor kicked in. And the demon rose from the ashes as hell burned over. And we have a new champion. And let's be honest, the demon put it all on the line So many Impalers, and 1916 as well. Put an end to a lot of the offense Fatu tried to put down. And even then, Samoan drops came flying out, headbutts galore, and then several Impalers from Fatu weren't enough to keep the demon at bay, who landed this Impaler and put away the former champ.
Here is your winner, and new undisputed television champion, the Demon, Finn Balor.
It certainly begs the question as to what Fatu aims for next, having lost his belt. When will he enact his rematch clause? We'll have to see. But for now, we move into the third bout of the evening. I think we've seen a lot of singles action today. Let's take it to the mixed tag division for our championship bout. The first defense for Mighty Molly and Otis against the Game and Stephanie McMahon. As we welcome the challenger to the arena for this one. Triple H, the King of Kings, ready for battle as he removes his cape, as he typically does here on IPW showcasing. Crown comes off. And we have to feel Triple H unlucky the last time out in the mixed tag division with a partner he was not used to. Finally, he finds his soulmate, teaming up with his wife in this one. And you feel the tension in the air gets a lot higher when the Game competes. As the song says, it's all about the Game. There's a reason. As he has become immortalized in the wrestling business for his degenerate style. As a newly crowned Hall of Famer prepares for arguably his toughest match in IPW. Can he overcome the odds alongside his wife, as I say, to gain championship glory? We shall have to see as we welcome Stephanie McMahon into the arena. Can this team do it? Simply put, they have the chemistry, they have the look, the skills of champions, but to, as I say, reign atop of this division, you have to beat the champs, who are an unlikely duo, let's be honest. Formed at random, competed in a tournament to get to this stage when they are champions. Tonight they defend the belts against their toughest challenge ever. Their first complete unit. As we welcome Otis and Molly Holly into the arena. The wands in the air. I didn't expect Otis to touch the chest of Molly Holly, and I think the entrance is the wrong way, but regardless of the fact, Otis and Molly Holly ready for battle. Thank you. Champs coming out as a unit is always a good sign. For cohesiveness. And this is actually the first time we're properly seeing the mixed tag belts. Such a beauty. As we toss it to Mike Rome for official introductions for this one.
The following is a tag team match set for one fall and is for the undisputed mixed tag championship. Introducing the challengers, the team of Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. And their opponents, the undisputed mixed tag champions, Otis and Molly Holly, the Alpha Academy.
Repping the Alpha Academy, it seems now, is Molly Holly. As this unit hands over the illustrious mixed tag belts to our referee, Kim. God, I love them belts. Regardless of the fact, let's get into this one. Triple H and Otis starting off for their respective teams. And we are underway with the match. They tie up center ring. Triple H takes advantage and delivers a Samoan drop. I'm not surprised at this stage that I'm saying Samoan drop. After how many I've seen so far tonight. But regardless of the fact, Triple H beginning to work over Otis. And in my mind, we look at this match and you kind of have to think, if I'm Otis and Molly Holly, you're going to want to isolate Stephanie. Arguably the weakest star in this one. Her ring prowess isn't really one that we see too often. And I mean, when she does compete, she's typically a sidekick to Triple H, who carries the matches. Otis needs to get Stephanie in the ring, but how are you going to do that when the game is clearly going to stay active in this match and just destroy his opponents? As Otis slams down and then just dropping Molly on the back of, on the chest, Triple H with that scoop and a slam. Molly Holly into this match. Seems to have practiced some moves with Otis, and that is a good thing for the champs, as finally Stephanie enters the match and lands a spear. Big time offense there. But as I was saying, the champs obviously haven't competed since Crush Crush Crush, where they won the belts. And that has certainly come into favor, as it seems they've obviously practiced together, built a more unified set of offense. As Molly comes crashing in, taking down Stephanie, locking in an armbar here. Channeling her inner Ronda Rousey. It seems as that is a way to beat Stephanie, is to put her in her armbar. And it's interesting, Stephanie does have that left hand in a glove or wrist support, so it does typically lead to me to believe that she could potentially be susceptible to arm bars, as we've obviously seen before at WrestleMania. Anyway, we turn our attention back to this match. Molly Holly into the pin on Stephanie. Gets a 1 count. And this seems to be the name of the game for Molly and Otis. Wear down Stephanie. Thankfully, they've got her in the match, excuse me. The game forced to watch on as his wife gets beaten up by another man. Speared to the floor. Otis now targeting Triple H. I think this is actually quite smart from the champs. Take out the illegal man and not allow an escape route for the easy target that is Stephanie. Otis back into the ring, caught with a slap from McMahon. Has the arm of Otis wrapped across the top rope, just pulling, wrenching on it. Snapmare into the stretch. Otis sends McMahon crashing to the mat and lands one of his own slaps. He might as well toss her as well. Triple H tries to go for the tag, can't make it as McMahon sent into the mighty Molly and Otis corner. Manages to fight off Otis's offense and get out of it with a bulldog. Champion challenges fairly even as DDT spikes Otis into the pin, goes the challenger. Molly Holly in to break it up. Seems fairly early for that. As the challengers make a tag. Triple H in with the double axe to the hand of Otis. Sends him running into the ropes and lands the running high knee. Once again, tag team offense from the game and McMahon as they suplex Otis in tandem to the center of the ring. Otis back to his feet. McMahon catches him though with the double axe. Otis Irish whip sending McMahon into the corner. McMahon fights out of it, spearing down Otis. This isn't going to plan for the champs as right now Stephanie destroying Otis, and now the game's in and he's going to bring another double axe to the hand. Otis picked up, reverses by just utilizing his weight to overcome the strength of Triple H. Connects with a lariat, a short lariat at that. Molly rolls through into the pin. Has Triple H caught there. Trying to sneak victory. She connects with the punches now, but the game wise to it. How much longer is Molly over the top? Slingshot in the head to the mat. The game catches her up and down with the flapjack. Now Triple H goes to work. Molly fights out the back, takes the leg out as well. The game makes a tag, and in comes McMahon, who's hooked up Molly for a pedigree. Just plants her into the ring. The game's down and out, and Otis tries to go for him. We've got a battle on all edges. There's a pinfall attempt here from McMahon utilizing the ropes. Only a 1 count as Molly back to her feet, but she's caught with a fist And I do believe Otis and Triple H are battling on the outside. I can hear it. In fact, we see it briefly. I'm going to just take control of the camera. And there we have it. Triple H fighting as Molly tries to go for a boot. Caught by McMahon, who's center, running into the ropes. On the outside, Otis and Triple H brawling by the announce desk as Molly hooks in the sleeper hold, falls back. It's locked in deep, but managing to fight out of it. Turns it into a pin as the Game and Otis stop fighting. We return back to normal camera as Stephanie once again double underhook, pedigree. Molly Holly in trouble yet again. Referee runs around into position, only gets down for 2. Obviously, we've seen a lot coming out here from Stephanie, which I was not expecting. She's certainly carrying this team, but in all honesty, I kind of feel the Game probably has some of his big shots still left in the arsenal. Perhaps they're saving it. As Molly hooking up Stephanie, locked in the submission, all the limbs tied up, but somehow finds a way out of it. And yet again, Molly goes to it again. This is something we saw from her in the matchup before where she won the title, utilizing this move multiple times over, just to wear down the challenger. Goes for the pin, the Game in to break it up. Stephanie back to her feet quickly and goes up with the suplex. Molly out the back through that door. It was open. Connects with the short line and heads up top. And Stephanie crawling, evades the elbow. Irish whip up and down the backdrop, sending Molly Holly crashing. Stephanie putting on a show here. Certainly been battling through all of it, but she keeps getting clobbered. And Molly Holly watching on, just taunting as she allows Triple H into the match. Who comes through with the lariat. In comes Otis. And the men begin the battle, but Otis hooks up Triple H for a trash compactor. The world's strongest slam sends him into the mat for a 2 count. Champions in firm control. But the Game, I somehow feel, will be looking to just take away all that control. As Otis, he's feeling himself, charging in with the hip attack. Dropping the Game, and the Game goes flying. Sent into opposition territory. He's not been able to escape. So Otis up. Bonsai drop in the corner. Pulls him out. May have been a pinfall opportunity there. Not going to opt for it instead. Belly to belly, driven in and then tossed. Nice offense from Otis. As Triple H easily makes it to his feet and Molly's in. Baiting, I think, here, Triple H. Irish whip reversal, and the Game tries to hit the high knee again, but caught. Arm being wrenched here by Molly, who's setting him up for something. Runs the road. Not even that. Our referee got in the way, and I think that's a good thing as the neck breaker comes through and Molly's up top, flying with the elbow. Dropped through the heart of the Game. Sends him back in the ring. Champion into the cover. Looking for victory here, but Stephanie breaking it up. No chance of securing the dub as of yet. This has been a well-oiled match, let's be honest. This has been fairly even through it all. Scoop and a slam from Mighty Molly. This time it's going to be followed up, I believe, from a high-risk maneuver. She calls the game up. Connecting with the Molly go-round. Through into the pin. Could this be it? So nearly. Was this over? Otis now in to pick up the scraps that Molly has left him, but the game wise to that offense. Grabs a hold of Otis and drives the fist into the face. Scampering to safety. Triple H wants no more of it, but he's leaving his wife in the firing line of the champ. Otis sends her into the corner, crashing in with the splash. And I think we know what's coming here. All aboard the choo-choo train that is the Worm. Elbow dropped into the heart of the challenger. And the game forced to break it up this time. Lifted up into the fall away slam position, but it's the world's strongest slam that comes through from the champ that almost secures the dub. Otis catching and tossing the challenger up, and down she goes. Pop-up powerbomb for the win. The champs retain in their first title match and first defense against a very game team. Let's be honest, we saw some of the hits from this team come through, and we saw the synergy that Mighty Molly and Otis could perform. It was great. At points, I thought they're going to lose this. There's no shot that they are victorious, but somehow, some way, they found a way to battle through what HHH and Steph had on offer to be victorious. That Molly go round certainly did wonders against Triple H, but it wasn't him who took the fall. It was his wife who got wormed and powerbombed to defeat. What a great match in our third bout of the evening, let's be honest. We've got 3 more to go, including a big title match for the World Championship and another 6-pack challenge. Obviously, before we get to that, we have one final bout, and it's a big one. It's a rematch, this time with more falls, as John Cena takes on Seth frickin' Rollins. Once again, congratulations to the champions for retaining their belts. Let's move into our big 4th bout of the evening. Well, it is time for our 4th bout of the evening. And we're revisiting a previous matchup on Breakdown. This time, the rules have changed. As Seth frickin' Rollins serenades us to the ring for this one.
The following contest is a 2 out of 3 falls match. Making his way to the ring from Davenport, Iowa, weighing in at 217 pounds, Seth freaking Rollins.
Last time out, Rollins got I would say, unfair victory over John Cena. Tonight, we're settling the score with a 2 out of 3 falls match. As Rollins serenaded once again by the Breakdown faithful. He's looking to not only beat Cena twice in the space of 2 weeks, he's looking to do it 3 times over. Can he deliver as we welcome his opponent to the arena? Arguably the greatest of all time, his farewell tour takes him here tonight to battle Rollins.
From West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing in at 251 pounds, John Cena!
The salute comes out and it's time to go to work. Cena, in 2 out of 3 falls situations, typically fights back to secure victory. I'm pretty sure he is undefeated in 2 out of 3 falls matches. And tonight, the Doctor of Thugonomics is here to rise above the hate and take down Rollins. I'm amped for this one. After the last time they were out competing, it was very much an even clash. But I did feel Cena edged it out until our referee gave an unfair decision. But as we ready ourselves, the crowd serenading Rollins as this match gets underway. Rollins out the gate quick with the offense. Collar and elbow tie up here in the center of the ring. Rollins taking waist control. Our referee this time is the lovely Kim, who's watching on with bated anticipation to start making them counts. To be honest, in this matchup, she's got to at least count to 6 twice over. Well, in total, it's 2 times at least for one of these stars. There's potential of 3 falls in this match. And right now, Rollins has the better of Cena and could potentially get the opening fall of the match. Cena now back to his feet, dropping the elbow down onto the heart of Rollins, who's quick to his feet, rolls through, rope break called there by our referee, and it looks like she's going to be calling this down the middle. And also a good sign to see a rope break called, considering the last time these two met up. As once again they tie up, Rollins takes wrist control. And he's just looking to apply the pressure. Cena reverses it into a more elbow-based joint manipulation maneuver, wrenching down on the arm to hyperextend it and honestly do a lot of nerve damage here. Rollins does well to take the back of Cena and now apply the pressure to the shoulder and the elbow. Wrenching a little bit there, applying a bit more pressure. And it is basically the same hold that Cena had, but this one hyperextending multiple joints as Cena takes the arm of Rollins here. Targeting that shoulder. The left shoulder of Rollins, who's sends Cena flying now. Leapfrog into the sling blade. Connecting with that offense into the pin goes Rollins. As the pin only surmounts to a 2. And the big thing about this match is one shoulder tackle comes through. A second. Don't duck. Don't throw a line. You're caught into the suplex and Cena has you hooked. But Rollins with the quick roll-up, looking to sneak victory. Manages to get back to his feet, catching Cena off guard because that's usually the precursor. The 5 moves of doom to the 5-knuckle shuffle. But as I was saying, it's certainly setting up to be an interesting match as Cena takes the back of Rollins, a backdrop suplex. Connecting with that one as the action spills to the outside here. We're gonna watch on with bated breath as Rollins sends Cena back into the ring. Super kick caught. Cena connecting with a kick to the gut. His punch caught by Rollins this time. And now Rollins unloading with a combo. The spin kick connects and Rollins unable to punish with it though. Cena gut wrench slams down Rollins to the ring and a scoop and a slam in response from Rollins. Put Cena down for the pin. Quick kick out there. And the big thing about these sorts of matches is you've got to pace yourself. You can't blow everything in the tank in the early goings. You need to have grit and strength to just survive because your opponent's going to try to do the same thing as submission hold locked in here by Rollins. Gets fought out of. But yeah, as I was saying, both Cena and Rollins need to weather the storm that's coming, especially like this 5-knuckle shuffle to the face of Rollins. Cena now, STF locked in, trying to tap out Seth here. Rollins, our referee signaling, has not tapped out as he makes his way back to his feet. And now gets to start to work over Cena as the package suplex comes through. Cena rolled up, managing to kick out at 1. But, 5-knuckle shuffle. No, military, not 5-knuckle shuffle. Attitude adjustment actually going to be changed into a military press slam. As Rollins now on the ropes. Cena taking control of the situation. Over the top for a Yoshi tonic. Planting Rollins. Rollins, I feel, has to be looking for a big maneuver. Cena utilizing that fresh offense in his kit with that monkey flip. And now a big knee. Deadlift, gut wrench. Slam from Cena, who I think setting Rollins up for the beginning of the end. Up on the shoulders and down for the attitude adjustment. Ball game Cena. But somehow Rollins still in it. The score still 0-0 as Rollins with the roll up looking to sneak one here. One only going to be ascertained. The crowd behind this matchup wanting it to go on, and it certainly will, as we're still in the first fall of this best 2 out of 3 falls match. Rollins unwisely heads to the outside and immediately receiving a 5-knuckle shuffle to the face. It's busted him open, and Cena's looking to put an exclamation point on that target, exposing the blood as it trickles down Rollins' face. The only solace for Seth right now is Cena goes back into the ring to break the count for himself. A count of 7 and Rollins back into the attitude adjustment. Ball game point, Cena. How is it still going? Rollins kicking out of the attitude adjustment for a second time. But he's powered up onto the shoulders of Cena. Manages to get out of it. Sends Cena colliding down to the bottom turnbuckle in the upper corner. This is, I'm not sure, the wisest of strategies from Rollins. He's exerting a lot of pressure to survive these attitude adjustments. Cena's already fired off 2, an STF, a couple of 5-knuckle shuffles, and Rollins' boot got caught. I think that was a precursor to the stomp coming through, but Cena wise to the effort, not going to allow Rollins to get going. A kick to the gut. This, I know, is a pedigree. Cena planted on the outside. Rollins looking to potentially score victory as he sends Cena flying out here. Camera right in front of them, behind the barricade, as the action certainly is getting interesting as Rollins heads up top. He's called Cena to his feet as a count of 8 comes through. I think the Revolution knee may have been coming through there from Rollins, but Cena evades it and now has a hold of Rollins. The count was broken as Rollins came off the top rope. But the count doesn't matter now as Cena and Rollins are back in the ring. Rollins catches Cena running through and connects with the kick to the chest. Both former world champs, Cena, reigning world heavyweight champ, collecting the head of Rollins with that lariat. Sends Rollins off the ropes, picks him up, and down he goes. Another attitude adjustment. This is surely the ball game, as the first fall goes to John Cena. Rollins still being battered and bruised. The blood trickles down his face as Cena, unrelenting with the offense, calls Rollins back to his feet. Grabs a hold of him. Sends him into the turnbuckles. Rollins reverses, puts Cena in the corner. Now working over the arm. Both men, you can see the welts on their chest and backs as they've gone to war here. Rollins calls Cena to his feet. The kick to the stomach connects. The gut kick into the stomp. Rollins down. Puts Cena down. Only the 2 count secured. But the Architect, the Revolutionary, still knows how to finish the fight as the pedigree comes through. Another pinfall attempt. And I've got a feeling the series is still not tied up. Cena leading 1-0 in this 2 out of 3 falls match. Rollins caught in that. That was such a nice neck breaker. Sorry, cutter. Cena into the pin for a 2. Bear in mind, Rollins still feeling the effects of 3 attitude adjustments. Cena, whenever he's on his feet, has not slowed down the offense. And Rollins has kind of been stuck, receiving it bar the slight chance he got to land the stomp and pedigree. It's been all Cena. He's looking to come charging in with a clothesline in the corner. Rollins now caught up to the powerbomb position, fighting out of it. Cena, though, quickly capitalizing on Rollins' space he gained by coming crashing in with that crossbody. And now tries to drop a 5-knuckle shuffle from up top. That avalanche 5-knuckle shuffle fails, and Rollins looking to punish with a stomp. Lights out on Cena. 1, 2, 3. We're at 1-1 right now. Both men securing a fall. Cena trying to maybe go AA. Rollins round the back, sending Cena into the corner and now putting him on top turnbuckle. Both men stood up here. Cena, Rollins, Cena fighting out of it, pushing Rollins down. Rollins might have been looking for that Falcon Arrow to do the deal, but Cena not allowing it to come through. I think that's a turning point. If it weren't for the fact Rollins back to his feet, capitalizing, catching Cena, the kick to the gut, and I think we've got another stomp. Ball game. Rollins. A decisive victory over Cena. The grit and fortitude from Rollins to survive the early flurry of offense, to then turn it around a couple of stomps later, and Cena has his lights put out with a curb stomp. A big victory for the former IPW Undisputed Champ. Speaking of the Undisputed Championship, our co-main event sees Samoa Joe defending the belt against a former Undisputed Champion. That is coming up next, and I can't wait to see how that one turns out as we continue to watch the replays for this one. That stomp from Rollins. Cena came back, but Rollins, his grit and fortitude to stay alive in this match, fire off this stomp in particular to secure the pin and the win. Never mind incident. Following one, they're very similar. Same position in the ring as well. Rollins targeting, putting Cena near the ropes as well, potentially causing a repeat of last time.
Here is your winner, Seth freaking Rollins.
Regardless of that, Rollins victorious on his path towards the gold again. But who will hold the gold after tonight? Let's find out right now.
The following is scheduled for one fall and is for the undisputed World Heavyweight Championship.
Singles rules apply for this one, as a Heartbreak Kid looks to reclaim the gold in his second bout for the belt. Last week, we did see on Primetime HBK defeating Ospreay in a rematch that we saw, well, at Turmoil. And the belt obviously went over to Ospreay then. Tonight, HBK gets the shot after beating Will on Primetime against the champ who's in his first title defense since surprise stealing the championship away from Ospreay. Crush, crush, crush. Obviously a big time show, which has led to this matchup here tonight. And the champ, with the fires burning around him, Joe is hungry to defend his championship. The IPW Undisputed Champ shows no fear in the ring, as his slow walk sets him up to showcase why he is on top. The belt in his hand as he's ready for action against a very game Shawn Michaels. We toss it to Mike Rome for official match introductions.
Introducing the challenger from San Antonio, Texas, weighing in at 227 pounds, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. And his opponent from Huntington Beach, California, weighing in at 282 pounds, the undisputed World Heavyweight Champion, the Samoan Joe.
Both men ready for this one. Joe hands his belt over to our referee, Kim, who draws the action for this, our co-main event. Champion's advantage still exists. The only way to win the belt is via pinfall or submission, as we're underway, and Joe quickly out of the gates, putting the challenger down on the mat and dropping some big time offense. And this is, I would say, Joe's biggest test. It's currently as champion. Obviously winning the belt was a little easier, considering the fact that Will basically was a wounded star already beaten up by RVD at Crush Crush Crush. And tonight, Michaels, fresh, obviously had a match last week, so he's not really got that much ring rust. Joe's last match, obviously, breakdown 2 weeks ago where he beat Chad Gable via coquina clutch. As Michaels really hasn't had to do too much, as this hold looks funky. But it's a collar and elbow tie-up that Joe showcasing his power, just tossing Michaels down to the mat. Elbow drop from Michaels once he got back to his feet. Tries to go flying with the forearm. Joe just launching him to a completely different time zone. Michaels and Joe have kind of been fairly even in the early goings so far. Trading reversals. But realistically speaking, it's going to be whoever lands the big shot first has the advantage. Whether it's the muscle buster power bomb from Joe, who's got Michaels up and dropping him down, or Michaels landing the elbow drop from up top. Sweet Chin Music then should realistically turn the tides in favor of whoever connects first. As Joe locks in the coquina clutch. I'm surprised this has come so quick. Our referee down quickly to check it. But Michaels breaks the grip and breaks out the hold. You don't want to be trapped in that for too long. As Joe, he's dangerous from that position. Michaels has to be wary of the champion's submission offense. But I don't think Michaels gives a hoot as he's tuning up the band right now. And Joe walks head first into the Sweet Chin Music. Pinfall attempt, and it's a 2 count for Michaels. So these two have landed some big shots already in this one. Michaels beckoning the champion to his feet. Thought maybe another Sweet Chin Music was coming through. Instead, slingshotting him across the top rope. Working now over the leg. Michaels could potentially set up for a sharpshooter. Known for, unfortunately, stealing that move from Bret Hart. Thought maybe this was it. Instead, just opting to step on the chest of Joe as he calls him back to his feet. Michaels, his punch caught. Joe sends him flying off the ropes. Spins him around for the power slam. Michaels ducking the line and now bringing Joe to the mat. And he's in a landing zone favorable for the flying elbow. Michaels connects, goes into the cover. Could this be it? A 2 count. And the champion's still in this one. Challenger has certainly been game so far as the Sweet Chin Music misses. Joe evades the Sweet Chin Music. It's been a long time since we've seen that move miss. But when it does, it's never a good sign for the champ. The pinfall attempt from Michaels. The champion down. Oh my word! An unexpected victory for Michaels. As from out of nowhere, that moonsault connects and secures the belt. And Joe's reign is over in a matter of days or weeks after capturing it. The belt returns to the Heartbreak Kid as that band was tuned up and prepped. I was saying that whenever Michaels misses that move, he typically does bad. But the statement is completely false, as we have a 2-time champ in the house. And it's Shawn Michaels with the belt wrapped around his waist once again. Clearly I underestimated the power of the moonsault. But here we see the setup, the slingshot across the top rope, the stomp, and then the springboard moonsault. It was fast, that flurry of offense, and effective to secure the win.
Here is your winner, and new undisputed world heavyweight champion, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
What a way to enter the main event time now. A new champion on IPW television. And now a six-pack challenge to round out the evening. Let's get into our locked-in qualification bout. It's main event time. And well, I did not expect to hear this theme here tonight. Stephanie Vaquer is in the house for this one.
The following is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from San Fernando, Chile, Stephanie Vaquer.
Vaquer, former NXT North American champion and current NXT Women's Champ, is in the house for our six-pack challenge. La Primera, fan favorite to say the least, in action for this six-pack challenge. And what a run of form she is on in real life. She's looking to bring that form into IPW and claim gold almost as quickly as she debuted. But to get to the promised land of Locked In, you have to go through the Queen.
And from the Queen City, Charlotte Flair.
Challenger at Crush for the undisputed Women's World Championship. Flair, losing out there, gets a shot here tonight. This time for the Women's Television Championship. Qualification is a must for Flair tonight, as she wants to put an end or potentially stop any form of slump from happening. She readies herself for action in the field. We already have seen one champion in the ring for this one, in Vaquer. Flair bringing championship pedigree of her own. This field is not going to get any easier. Matter of fact, I think the field might get a little bit more difficult. But we shall have to see. As the Queen readies herself for 4 other women to make their presence known. Well, this is certainly an interesting start to come out here. Sane, former NXT Women's Champ, former...
And representing the Kabuki Warriors from Yamaguchi, Japan, Kairi Sane.
former NXT Women's Champion, former Tag Team Champion. Sane has the prowess to do it all, to be a top star here in IPW. To win the women's belt would be a dream for her, especially considering the likes of her best friend or one of her good friends, Dakota Kai, winning the belt. It would certainly be a good honor for her to secure victory here tonight. And also, if you think about it, maybe get some potential revenge, having obviously her best friend Miss Oscar losing to Fallon Henley on primetime this week. We've already mentioned the women's tag belts once, but what about the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship? A belt this woman is synonymous with.
And from Atlanta, Georgia, Gigi Dolan.
The toxic attraction still felt by this woman as Gigi Dolan makes her way to the ring. The golden rose in her hands. She's here tonight to make a statement, to make a shot at the television championship worthwhile. And let's be honest, we know one big thing. The resolution case still held by Mandy Rose. Could this be a calculated act from her to potentially collect all the gold in the women's division for Toxic Attraction?
And from Chicago, Illinois, Cora Jade.
One thing's for sure, calculated maneuvers are something Cora Jade is known for. Someone who's been on the hunt for singles gold for quite some time, never been able to get that big title win. Tonight, she's vying for the spot at the pay-per-view. She just has to beat some very tough stars to get there. As the field meets its 6th star. Why not add another former NXT Women's Champion in Julia to the field?
And from Tokyo, Japan, Julia.
With the look and feel of Hana Kimura in her gear, the tribute to that star being felt as Julia making her much anticipated match entrance. So let's be honest, seeing Julia compete is a once in a lifetime opportunity, as the stars just got so much raw charisma, athleticism in her offense. It is felt when she competes. And tonight, the field is certainly stacked with talent. And I'm really struggling to figure out who I'm vying for to win this one. As we get underway with the main event, Cora Jade and Flair battling Gigi Dolan and Julia. And Vakir and Sane on the other side of things, as Sane rolling up Vakir. The pin fought out of. And this is something we've spoke about before in these six-pack challenges. You kind of want to be the person watching on, maybe trying to sneak those quick pins to maybe steal a victory. Because it's usually how it goes, as that was a lovely suplex, that fisherman suplex from Julia. Now, as this match rolls on, we'll start to see Stars utilizing their more high explosive offense. But in my mind, you have to look at how these teams have formed as Vakir tries to sneak a victory in front of Julia. Does not really come to fruition. But you have to think, the offense of this match, who does that realistically favor? Flair can't really go for the figure eight. That's the first big statement, because submissions, comparative to pins, it's a 3-second versus potentially longer sort of chance for winning. So right now, I want to keep my eyes on Julia and Vakir. We've not really seen them competing much in IPW. The rest of the field have seen matches. Obviously, Flair, I'd say, has had the more high-profile matches out of everyone in this match. She's currently being beat up by Vakir, who's just dropping Julia as well. Nice suplex there from Dolan. As finally the first weapon's introduced into the match. And it's a kendo stick from Julia. Actually, I tell a lie, there's a chair in the ring apparently. Nice suplex there as Salida del Sol from Cora Jade comes through. Vakir sending some big shots into Dolan as Julia picking up the scraps of that. Desprez landing on top of her though. As we watch on, Vakir now fighting with Charlotte. Julia with Cora. Pinfall attempt here. Not going to be broken up. Instead, Charlotte forced to kick out herself. Eyes on Julia, who's landing some big offense right now. Dolan the same on Vakir. Sane. Nice STO, dropping Flair, who's been the punching bag of this match. And this is wise from these Stars. Don't allow Flair to get rolling, who's gone for a quick roll-up. Gigi, though, hooks up Vakir for the GG driver. Planted in the middle of the ring. Flair gonna capitalize, trying to sneak the victory from under the nose of Dolan. Not able to do so. As a roll-up attempt from Cora comes through. We've seen a lot of them so far in this match. Those quick roll-ups. Trying to get the quick dub. So far, probably the biggest move we've seen in this match is the GG driver as Sane goes through. I don't know if she connected as Julia's in the pin there. It's broken up. Nice suplex from Sane. That's a knee though from Julia, dropping Cora. What can Julia do right now? She's certainly got Cora Jade on the ropes, but Dolan, aware of that situation, gets caught though. Roll-up attempt from Julia. Secures the 1 count. Flair connects with the natural selection. Into the pin she goes. Julia, you just need to turn around, break it up. Thank you very much. Yeah, you can tell who I'm vying for. I don't really want Flair in the title picture. I'm a biased commentator. We already know that. There's an octopus stretch applied here. That's locked in tight on Flair, but Flair sidewalk slams out of it. Don't know what Flair was looking for there, as the loud kendo stick in the hands of Julia cracking the backs and the heads of Cora and Kairi. Inside the ring, EG and Flair teaming up for a bit of offense on La Premiera. Stomping the back, that's such a vicious maneuver, as Jade catching Gigi, hooks her up and drives her down. Into the mat she goes. Cora's pin broken up by La Premiera, who hooks up Flair for the backbreaker. This finishing maneuver connecting, but not securing the victory as of yet. Kairi Sane broke it up. Spear from Flair. The pin broken up though. I have to feel Flair's doing a lot of work in this one. Even though I do see this match realistically going to either Vaquer or Julia. Speaking of Julia, hooking up Sane up to spinning around and bringing her down in the center of the ring. The pinfall attempt broken up. Dolan now trading with Flair. Flair gets the punch into the back of Dolan to break up the attack. Julia, a boot caught by Vaquer. Vaquer and Dolan fighting. Jade and Julia. Flair's staggered. Dolan sends Vaquer flying. Tries to pick the leg, but unable to do so, as both Dolan and Vaquer punching Flair. Octopus stretch applied. Vaquer, will she tap? It's wrenched in deep, but no victory as of yet. Sando hooked up for the GG driver. Planted. Flair in position though to break it up, and we continue to roll on in our main event. Only two women standing. Dolan getting back to her feet though. Inverted DDT from Jade, who catches Gigi. But here comes the weaponry of Julia. Cracking the back of Jade with the kendo stick. Premiera picks up a chair, comes back in the ring. Shoulder breaker from Sane. Sends Julia rolling to the outside. Flair caught now by Kairi. Over the top and down she goes with the DDT. Into the pin goes Sane on Flair. 1, 2. Julia breaks it up in the nick of time. Two Japanese stars battling now. Jade gets involved, but it's a bad involvement as she's hooked up and planted. Busted open as well by Julia. Sane hooks up. Inverted DDT. It's the Tetsuya Naito move. This isn't a Tetsuya Naito move, it's natural selection from Flair. Dolan in trouble. A 2 count. Big kick out by Gigi to survive this match, as Julia and Vaquer renew a rivalry. Jade planting Kyrie. Gigi connecting with that big knee. Drops Flair, who's forced to roll out. Sliced bread number 2. Jade dropping Julia. Almost caught by Gigi, but instead now wrapped up by Vakir. And the sledgehammer comes out though from Gigi to pick up any missed spots. Julia being pinned right now. Gigi trying to secure victory. Only a 2. What an upset that would be if Gigi Dolan wins this one. Certainly have to say Cora Jade, Kyrie and Gigi are the arguably underdogs of this one. But I think Gigi's landed the most finishers and is looking to finish the naturals. Charlotte Flair. Spear missed there from Kairi Sane. Caught with a step up enziguri by Cora Jade. Julia in the corner. Slapped. And being torn out by Jade, who lands the running knee, channeling her icon CM Punk. Blue miss from Sane. Blues the face of Jade. Uranagi from Flair. Is the weapon specialist Julia capitalizing on the offense. Fisherman Buster to Jade. Flair and Julia staring at one another, but this is no longer staring. It's a natural selection. La Premiera, backbreaker, dropping Sane. Sane's still standing, surprisingly, after it. Eyes on Jade, landing the DDT. The generation of Jade comes through. The pinfall attempt. It's broken up. Flair is a menace in this one. Them chops from Vakir, deadly as she plants Gigi with a DDT. Pinfall attempt. It's broken up. Which of these women is gonna be victorious in heading to locked in? Fall away slam from Flair, that was perfect. Kyrie capitalizing on Jade's mistake. Into the corner she goes. The march for the anchor is inbound. The line connects. And a chair to the back as well. Kyrie's rolling. Stunner to Vakir. Crawls into the corner. Pinfall attempt. Kyrie's in the pin. Kim slow to the count. But she's making it. Only a 2 was broken up. As Gigi in the octopus stretch, Julia in trouble now. A tap out could be imminent. That was pretty from Jade. It broke it up and it dropped Vakir. Flair back into the ring. Could be in trouble. There's a GG driver though set up for Julia. Planted down. The pin imminent. 2 women are into the pin. Who's being counted? Neither one. It's 3 pins. Vakir trying to secure victory as well. All 6 women in a pinfall predicament. Gigi into another. This time on Vakir. Julia breaks it up. And Julia's looking for victory of her own. Hooks up Jade. Up and down with the brainbuster. Planted. Hooks up Gigi. I thought maybe it was going to be a GG driver. Instead, it's a slam from Julia, planting her for the victory. So near. So close. Back here, heading up top. Corkscrew moonsault from Vakir. Kyrie breaks up the pin. And this match still continuing. Dolan. Now targeting Sane. There's Flair and Julia battling. Jade back to her feet and hooked by Flair into the backbreaker. Dolan and Vakir working together to take down Flair. Onto the kendo stick. Flair nips up, tries to go for the spear, leapfrogged over by Vakir, who hooks up Flair onto her shoulder and powering her down with the backdrop. Now hooking up Julia for a neat defeat. It's time for the insane elbow as well. Everyone landing their finishers and signature maneuvers to put a statement on this match. Jade back into the ring now. And she could be looking for her own finish to send on to Gigi. Flair now being tangled up by Vakir. The super kick and the kendo stick making an insane movement of maneuvers. At this stage of the match, everyone is throwing it all on the line. Julia hooks up Jade, up and down with the brain buster. Planted. Sane tries to spear but misses. Julia for not the victory. Her former friend turned rival Stephanie Vakir breaks it up as Flair hooks into figure 4, bridging up and over to the figure 8. It's broken up as a chair flying over it, hitting Vakir in the face. Shoulder breaker from Flair. But she's hooked by Julia, who takes her down with the head scissors. Into the pin goes the Japanese sensation. Kim slow to the count, but La Primiera breaks it up. Now targeting Julia. Sledgehammer was in the hands of Jade for a moment as she drops Flair and sends Sane to the outside. Corkscrew moonsault from Vakir into the pin. She goes. It's broken up by Charlotte. A lot of pinfalls being broken up in this one. They're all impactful, and it keeps this match rolling. Flair, her pin's broken. Kyrie, up and down with the Alabama Slam. Sending Flair flying, and this is the two rivals joining forces to take down Gigi Dolan, but they're going back to work on each other. It's such a quick release backdrop suplex from Julia. She once again starts to fight with Flair. Dolan trying to hook up Julia. Julia wise to it. Hooks up Gigi. Plants her down with the DDT. Jade now targeted. Punch to the face, but spear from Flair drops Julia. Vakir and Flair, the only two standing in the ring right now. La Primiera big booted to the mat. The Queen standing atop of everyone. Goes for the pin on Vakir. 1, 2. Insane. Breaks it up. Kyrie in the nick of time. The spear drops Flair and she's going stomping. And I think she's going running with the elbow to the chest. Flair taken down. But Julia is a bigger threat as she's spinning around and driving Vakir into the mat for the win. It was a explosive match towards the end, but the pins kept getting broken up until no one could stand. Saying I don't know where she went, but she did not get back into the ring to break that one up. And we've got the Japanese sensation, Julia, going to locked in. I can't believe I'm saying this. This is going to be such an epic locked in matchup. as Julia, Chelsea Green, Natalia, Raquel Rodriguez, and Shayna Baszler are 5 of the 6 women in this match.
Here's your winner, Julia.
Next week, we will find out our last stars in the locked-in matches, as well as how the rest of the pay-per-view card will shape up. Thanks for joining me here tonight for this epic conclusion to qualification week. I'll see you next week for prime time as well as Underground this weekend. See you guys then.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane,